something about the girl that just makes my head wanna twirl. Hello, my name is Dan Salazar, and today I'm going to show you a website that I created for CSC 101. This is my final project for the course, and I created this website through cPanel using the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript programming languages. It was about the impact of cybersecurity, as you can see right here. And in addition to this page right here, this is the introductory page. I have a page about the purpose of cybersecurity, the impacts that it has, its technical aspects, its relations to data, and just a page that goes through all my references just to cite my sources that I use while creating this website. The main purpose of cybersecurity is to keep the data and information of people all over the world who use this innovation safe and secure. This is pictured in this image right here that has a globe over a keyboard. The globe symbolizes people all across the world. The best way to utilize increased cybersecurity is through increased personal awareness and education of the dangers that are present when using the internet and technology. It has been estimated that 90% of identity theft and different types of cyber attacks, which I will discuss more later, are results of things like poor decision making when using the internet and technology. Former FBI Director James Comey, pictured right here, has been quoted saying this: "The FBI is engaged in a myriad of efforts to combat cyber threats, from efforts focused on threat identification and sharing inside and outside of government, to our internal emphasis on developing and retaining new talent and changing the way we operate to evolve with the cyber threat." This is good because it represents an increased interest in increasing our cybersecurity in the future. Right here, I have a video on my webpage that just explains more in depth some of the basic aspects of cybersecurity. Many of the benefits of cybersecurity stem from the fact that cybersecurity is a growing field. It is growing by the day, and therefore, it will be a more and more relevant field in the future. With this increase in relevance, the benefits of cybersecurity are increasing as well. Some of these benefits, which will only increase in the future, include data protection and less susceptible systems to cyber criminals and cyber attacks. This is all depicted in this image right here, with locks over what represents our data in the background. Cybersecurity offers a positive impact on society because it provides individuals with additional security when they use innovations such as the internet, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and smartphones, just to name a few things. These things are all of increasing relevance and will be in the future. This graph pictured right here represents the results of a survey that I took with my classmates, asking them how they think cybersecurity has impacted themselves as individuals, as well as how they think cybersecurity has impacted the world. The results of my survey that I took using Google Forms show that most of my classmates think that cybersecurity has had a large impact on themselves as well as the world. Embedded here is a video of an interview that I did with my roommate, asking him how he believes cybersecurity has impacted himself and the world. I took all of these clips using my iPhone, emailed them to myself, and then imported them into the Lightworks video editing software to edit this whole video and put it together.
I forget what it was called, like that breach in like Windows OS's a while ago, like WannaCry. That didn't affect me, so been pretty good with cybersecurity so far. It's definitely like a bigger market now for it. Like it's growing? Yeah, for sure. Oh, be terrible. Everybody's information would get leaked. Like the Equifax leak. They needed better cybersecurity because everybody's social security number and stuff and personal info got leaked because of them. So it'd be like that all the time if we didn't have any security.
Since so many fields today besides computer science are using the internet and technology, cybersecurity is impacting all of them. A few examples include the economy, sports, music, film, and the military and government. This graph pictured here shows the recent trend over the past few years that cyber attacks have been increasing all over the world across the fields that I mentioned. This means that cybersecurity has the potential to protect the data and information of the people within all of those fields. One of the ways that a typical person interacts with this innovation is through setting internet passwords. In order to set a strong password online, there are a few steps that can be taken. First, people can make the passwords gibberish by including capital and lowercase letters, punctuations, and random numbers. Saving passwords in browsers, storing them elsewhere on your computer, and using passwords that include predictable numbers make them easier to crack for cybercriminals. Another more advanced way that typical people interact with this innovation is through a process known as encryption. This process is used in order to scramble data in such a way that only someone with a secret code or key can read it. This process is used largely in transactions such as online shopping, and it is also used in online messaging such as email. This picture right here sums up the basics of how encryption works. This video embedded right here is a brief overview to further clarify how this process works as well. Cybersecurity incorporates the big computer science idea of abstraction, because when it all comes down to it, an individual does not really need to know all the complex details of how every aspect of this innovation works in order to ensure that their data and information is being kept safe and secure when using technology. Like I said before, only a mere 10% of cyber attacks can be attributed to flaws in hardware or software. The typical user cannot control these, but they can control the cause of the other 90% of cyber attacks, which is flawed decision making when using the internet and technology. Cybersecurity also incorporates the internet to a large extent because people store sensitive information in accounts that are on the internet, which are used in transactions, shopping, and online messaging. Cybersecurity transforms data through many different processes. One of them is known as database encryption. It is defined as a process that uses an algorithm to transform data stored in a database into ciphertext that is incomprehensible without first being decrypted. This is a process within the process of encryption, in which the original message, which is the data, is then transformed and ciphered into an unreadable message using an algorithm. This is one example of data transformation. There are a multitude of data privacy and data security concerns regarding cybersecurity. 3 of them are DDoS attacks, phishing scams, and inadequate software or hardware. DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service. It occurs when a website receives more requests than it is capable of handling from many computers at once. These computers are all under the control of an attacker. This causes the site to then overload and crash. This is pictured here on the left, where one computer, which is the attacker, has 4 slaves which it controls and causes to send more requests to the victim, which the victim is not capable of handling. The victim then overloads and crashes. Phishing scams are a common method that cybercriminals use when they are looking to steal somebody's identity. Cybercriminals send out emails that attempt to get unaware victims to give out their personal information and login credentials to certain accounts. If the victims do this, then information will be given to the hacker, and the hacker will be able to do whatever he or she wants with that information. Having inadequate hardware or software does not depend as much on human decision as do DDoS attacks or phishing scams. They are not as preventable. But once upgrades are released, users can always update or install new software or hardware to improve their cybersecurity. As you can see, this is the data page for my website. Like all of the other pages on this site, I created it using the HTML and CSS coding languages. I used HTML to add in the text and CSS to make my page look unique. This right here is an example of the HTML code that I used on my data page. I only used it to add in the text. My CSS style sheet right here is what was used to make all of the pages on my website look unique. As you've probably noticed on all of the pages on my website, excluding the introductory page, there's a banner that runs across the top of the page. If you click on the banner, it will take you back to the home page. I created this banner using Pixlr photo editing software online, which allows you to play with layers and text of an image to create a banner or a logo. I created the banner and the logo in the same way by playing with layers, changing the colors, and adding filters to make my image look nice. Going back to my home page, you can see here that there's an animation that I created with an online GIF maker. The image contains one relevant picture to the topic right here, my logo that I created in Pixlr, and a picture of me. This right here is the references page for my website. As you can see, I use CSS to create a table containing all of the references that I used. There were 9 of them while creating my website. Reference number 4 was my most used reference when creating this site. It is a Wikipedia article titled Computer Security that contains information about plenty of aspects, impacts, pros and cons of cybersecurity. For more information about cybersecurity, please visit the link displayed here to see my website. Thank you for watching my video.